What's up, everyone? Welcome to FilmSpot, and today we will be talking about the best upcoming movies. Warner Brothers has given a very promising update on Man of Steel 2. The first Man of Steel film premiered in 2013 and is considered to be the first film in the DC Extended Universe. Man of Steel grossed $668 million worldwide, making it the highest-grossing Superman film in history, and the second highest-grossing film reboot ever after 2012's The Amazing Spider-Man. The film received mixed reviews, with critics divided on everything from Henry Cavill's performance as Superman to the special effects. Though Man of Steel wasn't critically acclaimed, it was profitable enough, and beloved by enough fans to encourage Warner Brothers to pursue other films in the DCEU. It was originally intended for Man of Steel to have a trilogy of Superman-focused films, similar to the Dark Knight trilogy. However, the Marvel Cinematic Universe's success with character crossover films like The Avengers inspired DC to follow suit. Man of Steel was quickly followed up by Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice in 2016, which saw Cavill reprising his role against Ben Affleck's iteration of Batman, along with Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. Though Cavill's Superman has appeared in a few other DCEU films, any ideas for a sequel to Man of Steel were seemingly shelved for the time, though maybe getting back on track. In a report from The Hollywood Reporter, sources claim that Warner Brothers is looking towards a Cavill Superman film, which would essentially be Man of Steel 2. The project is being produced by major DCEU producer Charles Roven, and the film is currently searching for writers. Director James Gunn is also in talks with Warner Brothers to do a mystery film where DC is definitely in play, according to an insider source. Dwayne Johnson, the star of DC's next upcoming film, Black Adam, has also vocalized his desire to see Cavill return to the DCEU. Johnson has been very eager for a Black Adam vs. Superman film and has teased that Cavill's Superman will be making a cameo appearance in Black Adam. Whether Cavill's rumored appearance in the film will spark a crossover of its own or simply become a launching point for Man of Steel 2 is currently unknown. Though there is excitement among some DCEU fans over a potential Black Adam vs. Superman fight, many are worried that it may just be a repeat of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, a film which was very poorly received by critics and fans alike. However, a simple cameo in Black Adam could be the jumping-off point that Cavill needs to slowly reintroduce his Superman into the DCEU to make audiences eager for a Man of Steel sequel. With Warner Brothers potentially on board with the project, and Gunn potentially in talks to direct, Superman fans can rest assured knowing that Man of Steel 2 is slowly in the works. While Warner Brothers' slate of DC projects grew significantly smaller throughout 2022, the same can't be said for Matt Reeves' take on Gotham City following the Batman's blockbuster release this past March. In addition to booking a spin-off series starring Colin Farrell's Penguin and a sequel for Reeves' The Batman, Warner Brothers signed a deal with the director and his production company, which was described as an open invitation for Reeves to go wherever his interests take him. Now a new report has offered a glimpse at where the director's interests lie and just who fans can expect to see in his ever-expanding vision of Gotham. According to The Hollywood Reporter, director Matt Reeves isn't just working on a sequel to The Batman starring Robert Pattinson, but also 3 Batman villain spin-off films. The report claims that Reeves is meeting with writers and directors for movies featuring Batman baddies, both known and more obscure, including Professor Pig, Scarecrow, and Clayface. These projects are in the early stages of development. It's also worth noting that the director's interest in villain-led films is in addition to Colin Farrell's Penguin spin-off series, which is set to begin filming in 2023. Following the success of The Suicide Squad and the recent Peacemaker series, James Gunn is reportedly in talks to do another DC project. It was earlier reported that James Gunn, who received international acclaim by directing MCU's Guardians of the Galaxy, might return to direct another Marvel film. Now, after speculations about him directing a DC film, his future in the Marvel Cinematic Universe remains unclear at the moment. The untitled DC project is supposedly a collaboration between Gunn and Shazam producer Peter Safran. Gunn and Safran are currently in talks with executives from Warner Brothers. Even though details regarding the DC project are shrouded in mystery, reports suggest that it might be more than just one film. Peter Safran is known for producing films like The Conjuring, Annabelle, The Nun, Aquaman, and The Suicide Squad. James Gunn is currently busy working on the second season of the Amazon Prime series Peacemaker, starring John Cena in the titular role. A release date has finally been announced for The Expendables 4. In the works for many years, Lionsgate has set the long-awaited sequel to release in movie theaters on September 22, 2023. It might be facing some stiff competition that day, as Warner Bros. Has also scheduled an unnamed DC movie to premiere on that date. Per deadline, The Expendables 4 is one of 3 2023 release dates set by the studio, which also plans to release the Sebastian Maniscalco biopic About My Father with Robert De Niro on May 26th, as well as an untitled comedy movie on June 23rd. Despite the first film being mired in controversy, a new report states that the Flash 2 movie script has already been written. Ezra Miller is set to lead the cast of the upcoming DC Extended Universe movie, alongside fellow franchise vets Kiersey Clemons, Michael Shannon, Anja Traua, Ben Affleck, and Michael Keaton. The Flash will see the DCEU debuts of Ron Livingston as Henry Allen, taking over the role from Billy Crudup, Maribel Verdú as Nora Allen, and Sasha Calle as Supergirl. The Flash is expected to follow Miller's Barry Allen as he uses his power to race back in time to save his mother from being murdered, though in the process creates a variety of consequences for his timeline. Barry will turn to multiple allies for help in restoring the timeline to its original state, including Keaton's Batman, Calle's Supergirl, and a multiversal version of himself. Development has long languished on The Flash as it underwent a variety of rewrites, new directors, and release date delays stemming from both the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and Miller's legal troubles, though it appears Warner Bros. May be confident in the property's future. The Hollywood Reporter recently published a report of multiple development updates learned from inside sources regarding the DCEU. One such update was that of the Flash 2 movie, with sources reporting that the script has already been written for the potential sequel by Aquaman scribe David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. Those close to the situation note that The Flash 2 will only move forward should the first movie prove successful. Reports of the Flash 2 movie script already being written is sure to come as a surprise to most, given the first film has endured such a range of issues trying to get made. Additionally, with Miller's legal controversies playing some doubt in them carrying the role for the sequel, or the DCEU's future as a whole, it's understandable some would believe the studio would take their time putting together a follow-up in the hopes of distancing themselves from the various troubles facing its star. However, with Miller meeting with the studio to apologize for their offset behavior and reportedly filming new scenes for The Flash earlier this month, Warner Bros. May feel better about continuing with their time in the role. It should be noted that the sources reporting on the Flash 2 movie script already being written indicate that the sequel will only be greenlit should the first film prove successful. With the first DCEU movie being produced on a $200 million production budget, it will have a high bar to clear in order to prove profitable. And with Black Adam set to be the first major DCEU theatrical release since the pandemic, as both The Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman 1984 had simultaneous theatrical and streaming releases, it will be interesting to see if the Dwayne Johnson-led movie can set a new bar for the franchise, and if The Flash can overcome its controversies to shine at the box office. Only time will tell when The Flash hits theaters on June 23rd. After several rumored reports, Thunderbolt Ross is officially getting recast, as Harrison Ford is taking over for William Hurt and will star in Captain America: New World Order. Following the conclusion of Avengers Endgame, the MCU has a new Captain America, as Sam Wilson is taking over the mantle from Steve Rogers. In The Falcon and the Winter Soldier Season 1, the show explored Sam coming to accept the responsibility. Another change to be contended with is what to do about longtime MCU character Thunderbolt Ross following the tragic passing of Hurt in 2022. Rumors swirled that Marvel Studios were planning to recast the part, with Star Wars legend Ford the pick for the new Ross. Initial reports claimed that Ford had either been or was getting considered for the role, which would include being part of the Thunderbolts movie. While Marvel Studios announced the character lineup at D23, there was no mention if Ross would be featured in Thunderbolts, let alone if the character was being recast at all. Now it appears the rumors are true, as The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that the MCU has a new Thunderbolt Ross, and it will be the Star Wars and Indiana Jones actor himself. The trade states that Ford will start his time in the MCU with Captain America: New World Order. There's been no word on whether Ford will also be appearing in the Thunderbolts movie. While it's unclear how many MCU films Ford has signed on for, the fact that Marvel Studios tapped someone this huge to continue Ross's arc speaks volumes. Despite not having teased it in any of the previous movies, Ford joining the MCU could mean they are finally adapting Ross's Red Hulk story, which has been one of the big missing pieces of his character for years. Depending on where he goes in Captain America: New World Order, perhaps something happens towards the end of the film that sees Ross turn into Red Hulk, and pave the way for him to appear in Thunderbolts, which may get announced at a later date. As tragic as Hurt's passing is, it's at least good of Marvel Studios to finally have decided what they want to do with his character, as it would have been odd if they left his fate up in the air and never addressed it. Now that Ford is playing Ross, it will be intriguing to see what he brings to the table as the Marvel character, and his overall place in the MCU going forward. Since Captain America: New World Order starts shooting in early 2023, time will tell what the film has in store for Ford's Ross, and whether his Red Hulk saga is coming to the MCU. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.